Okay guys, this video is gonna have all sorts of stuff going on in it. First, you can see the way I look because I'm actually just cleaning my house today and started going through my makeup, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop and go ahead and do this blush video so that I can move things out of my way that I know I'm not gonna keep. And I thought, should I put makeup on and get ready for the video? And then I thought, no, I shouldn't. So this is what you get. And my son is drumming. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can, he is. If you can't, well, he's drumming. And yeah, so I thought, let's just go ahead and get into this blush video. If you have not seen my highlighter collection and declutter video yet, I will link that up here. Something I will say from that to this one, there were some face palettes in that one. So if they were things that I kept, I'm not going to pull them back out to show the blush or bronzer when that video comes up either, because there's not really any point to. Like, you already saw it in that, and obviously if it was good enough that I wanted to keep it for the highlighter, I wouldn't have kept it probably just for the highlight. So yeah, so I'm not going to pull those out every time, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and take my jacket off so we can just swatch all the way down my arm, because I figure that way this will go faster too than just on my hand. Then I won't have to stop and keep, you know, like wiping stuff. So first off, we are going to go into my single blushes, okay? So I will start with these Tarte blushes. This is Party. Now these are, I believe, like the deluxe sample kind of ones of them. And again, just like when I did my video for the highlight, my nails need to be redone because that was actually yesterday. Not when you're seeing this, but. And so that looks like this. So it's kind of like a more subdued, it's not a super bright shade, but it's actually very, very pretty. Another Tarte blush like that, they're the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes, is Quirky. Now this was my favorite blush for a very long time. I went through 2 of them, I think, already. And I had people so nicely send me ones they had. I just lost a little thing. This one is brand new. So I actually had not pulled out the new one because I was trying to use some other blushes before I went ahead and pulled, you know, another one out because, you know, I just wanted to use other stuff. So here is Quirky, which you can see is more of a peachy tone, like a little bit darker. And it is my favorite. So guess what? I even have a backup. Next up, I have the Too Faced Love Flush. And this is in the shade Justify My Love. And I'm so sad because it's breaking, which you will see when I held it up. Isn't that weird? It had like the prettiest, like, oh no, I just dropped it everywhere. Awesome design in it. And I love this blush. It looks very intimidating, but it is very pretty when you put it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut that so that it doesn't get everywhere. Oh, I didn't do a very good job with that, did I? No. Let's give that a better swatch there. Woo, girl. Okay, so obviously that's really intense and it does not go on your face like that, but it is a much more pink blush than the other two have more of like that peachy tone. So yeah. Next up is this Violet Voss Peachy Perfect. I got this in an Ipsy not too long ago, and I was very excited about it because I do not own any Violet Voss products. So looks kind of intense, super soft. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. And then that color looks like this. It's going to be, obviously that's super intense right there, but it is going to be so gorgeous on tan skin for summer because, and yes, I wear sunscreen before anyone yells at me, but my skin tans super, super fast, super easily with sunscreen on, whatever. So I get color no matter what. And yeah, but it will be very pretty with little sun-kissed skin. Next is the Ciate London Marbled Light in the shade Burnt. And I want to say I got this, where did I get this? Honestly, I don't remember, but I love this blush. I use this a lot. And the shade looks like this. So this has a little more of like a reddish tone. I haven't been saying if I'm keeping things or not. That's because all of these I'm keeping so far. So yeah, I realized in the last video I said with each thing if I was keeping it or not, but all those I'm keeping. Next up is the Milani Luminoso, and that's one of their baked powder blushes. And she looks like this. Very pretty. And the shade. Now, it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Get my face out of there. Which I am not usually a fan of. However, it's not like glittery shimmery. It's a very fine shimmer, so that I can handle. I don't like when blushes are super shimmery or like have any kind of glitteriness to them at all. That is not my thing. Okay, next up, this one also looks very intimidating. Oh, and I'm keeping that. This one looks very intimidating, but it's the Hello Kitty and Friends at Frost site from ColourPop. And looks like that. And when I first saw this, I was like, that is not going to work. It's way too pink. But like the Too Faced Justify My Love, it's very, very pretty on, actually. Not quite as intense. The Justify My Love almost has like a more purplish hue to it, maybe, where this one's just more pink and light. I will be honest with you guys, I am very self-conscious about my arms, which I am working very hard on right now. And so this is a little bit uncomfortable for me doing this and putting my arm up in your face. So I just want to say that. So yeah. Okay, so if you're looking at my arms and going, ew, guess what? I do the same thing all the time. So I already know. So if you want to be mean, just save it. So next is the Moira. I have 3 of these blushes of theirs. They're signature ombre blushers. And this one is an 08 Soft Berry, which I'll just open the package instead of showing you through because it's dumb. They have the most beautiful design on them. There's some crumbly stuff on this from me using it. Now, the cool thing about these is you can kind of concentrate in certain areas and get, you know, different colors, or you can do it all in one. So let me do in each area for you. Okay. So the lightest one, I guess it kind of got a little touch of the other one, but all the way to the deep. So different skin tones, oh, my face, different skin tones could all use this. And then I will show you kind of all rubbed together here. We'll just go right here, and then it's time for a wiping. So there's kind of all those 3 colors mixed together. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna wash this arm off and then we'll come back to do some more swatching. Okay, next up is another one of these signature blushes from Moira. And this one is in 04 Morning Sunshine. So as you can see, that has very different tones with kind of the yellowy orange and then like a lighter peach into that brighter pink. So again, I will do in each section. There's almost like 4 sections, to be honest with you, because of the way the colors go. So I actually will get into each of those, to be fair. There's that yellowy orange. It's a lighter color. All right, so there's that orangey color. Then there's a really light kind of pink here. Then it gets a little more into the pink and then a more magenta pink. And then if you do them all together, you get this really lovely, like lighter shade of pink when it's all mixed together. I think these are super cool because you can kind of customize the blush color to what you want, depending on how you know, swirl your brush around in your pan. And the last one of those is an 07 Ruby Flush. So this is definitely a more orange toned and so more peachy, orangey toned. And then go ahead and do so we've got this one. So right there is all of them mixed together. But so you've got the really light peach, then a little darker, much darker, and then all of them mixed together. And I'm keeping all of those. Now I'll go into like some blush palettes that I have. So first up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Pink Passion. So these are the colors. And I'll go ahead and so I'll kind of turn my arm here and start going this way. So that's the first one. Woo, I'm making a mess over here. So 3 very different tones. This one has almost like more of a reddish brown, like a mauve, or reddish pink, like a mauve kind of color. This one is more of like a bubblegum pink, and then this one gets more of like a magenta pink. Now this next one is from Maybelline, and it is their Master Blush Color and Highlight Kit. Woo. And let's see, does it have a shade name? Number 10 is what's on here, but I'm not seeing like an actual like shade name. So it has a highlight with it also. Something I will show you is it is very similar to this Anastasia one. So I kind of almost feel like it was supposed to be a little bit of a dupe. So I'm going to try to put those sort of next to the other ones to show you so that you can see, you know, like in comparison what they look like to each other. Now, when you get them on the skin though, like those first two look a lot more alike, but then like this one is a much more purpley tone than this one. And this one isn't quite the same shade of pink, but they, in the pan, because at one point I almost got rid of one because I was like, okay, they're like the same thing, but they're not, and that shows you. Next I have from the Balm this Girl Powder palette, and so it's got all of these different shades in it. So actually you've got kind of a bronzer here and stuff too, but I will go ahead and show you Houston and Bourbon. So this is Houston, and this is Bourbon. So those are those colors. This one has much more of like an orange tone, like a little more of a natural tone. And then this one is more of that, you know, kind of like a burgundy. It's funny because they don't really show the same on the skin. Well, okay, it's actually this way as they do in the pan. But you can see those first two there. But I really like this because it also has the little like bronzer and highlight in it, and I just like the tones of the blushes because they are pretty different from most of the other ones that I have. You're like, no, they're not. But if you're a makeup lover, you know what I'm saying. And I love that it's so compact. That's actually a huge part of it for me, is just the size of it and everything. And so it fits nicely into like your travel stuff. And then my last like blush palettes are the Juvia's, the Saharan Volume 1 and Volume 2 blush palettes. But I will say the Volume 1 is not a blush palette for me. This is definitely more for dark skin tones. I bought this palette because I knew it would be beautiful as eyeshadows. So that is what I use it for. But I wanted to show it because it technically is a blush palette. But none of these work on my cheeks. Like, it's just way too much for me. But I bet on dark skin tones, they're absolutely stunning. So awesome. And then the Volume 2 has some that are a little more, you know, wearable for my skin tone. So like Lena here. I do like B also. I don't really wear the shimmery ones as blush. I use those as eyeshadows. So I do actually use this palette as eyeshadows too. So first off, I will show you, this one is called Lena. Very pretty. This one is B. Did not get my finger in that very good, obviously. Plus we're getting into the hairier part of my arm and that's not looking as good. This one is Tau, which is a more orangey. And this is Yara. And I actually mix, I'll show you in a second. So Yara is like a yellow, like a brownish yellow tone. I actually like to mix Lena and Yara together. So I'll see if I can get a good mix on my finger with them. So this is a mix of Lena and Yara. So this one right here is Lena, and this is Yara, and this is them mixed. It creates a very pretty, like kind of corally peach shade. So I really like that mixed together to use as blush on me. Now this palette, I actually forgot that I had. It is 2 highlights and a blush from Classy K Cosmetics, but I am going to be honest, I never ever reach for this. Like I said, I forgot I had it because it's very shimmery. I just don't do shimmery blushes like that. I'll go ahead and get it on my finger and show you, and then I'll show you the highlights too. The only reason I would hold on to this is there's like some sentimental to it because one of the shades is Debutante. However, so here is the blush, which I don't know if you're really gonna be able to see too good, but it's got like a very shimmery, and I just do not like that about blush, or on, you know, with a blush. And then I'm running out of space. We'll just go right here for now. These are the 2 highlights. And as you can tell, they have a shift to them, but they are quite glittery and just not something I use on my face, you know? And because if you watched my highlight video, you know I like a more subtle, like more natural looking highlight. So for colors like that and to be really frosty and kind of glittery, it's just really not me. So I am going to let that go. It's kind of funny because as I'm doing this video and swatching, I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to do that soon because this, my whole forearm is, I'm getting a tattoo there. So it's going to be kind of harder. Some people do swatch over their tattoos, but I feel like it makes it a little bit harder sometimes to see the color. But mine's going to be a, you know, black and like the grayscale kind of one. So, you know, if it's color, that would be hard, but it's not. But anyway, onto what I was doing. Next up, I have 3 different Pacifica duos, and this one is Desert Sun, and so this has a matte blush and a bronzer, and the shades are Sunset Matte and Desert Matte, and you'll be able to see I actually do use this one quite a bit in the summer. I'll go ahead and swatch the bronzer for you because we're getting down to the end here, so don't worry if you're like, okay, I'm tired of watching you. You don't have to keep watching, but I appreciate if you do. But we are getting to the end. Okay, so this is the blush in that palette. It's a super pretty peachy shade. And then this is the bronzer. Not a bronzer, it's just a bronzer. So I really love the tones of those. I use those a lot. That's not going anywhere. Next up is one that I showed in my highlight collection, because it has the highlight here and then the blush. But I had said that when I tried it, at one point, the blush was like barely visible on my skin tone. So I said I was gonna revisit it when I did my blush here. I don't know why I just swatched the highlight. I already did that. I'm not gonna do that again. And show you and see, kind of make my decision. So this is the blush. Do you see what I mean? Like digging my finger in and rubbing it on my arm. It's so light, and when I have any kind of, you know, color to my face, you just really can't see it. And so it doesn't really make sense to me to hold on to that when somebody else could maybe get enjoyment from the highlight too. The highlight's really pretty, but I have a lot of highlights that look pretty much just like it. So I would rather somebody who can use this blush tone have this whole entire palette so that they can enjoy it, because that just makes sense, right? I feel like it does. And then I also have this one, which is beautiful. This is Cherry Gold, and it's a highlighter and blush. However, do you see what the issue might be? The highlight is so dark. That is not something that would work on my skin tone at all. Let me open it up for you. And the blush is a beautiful shade. I really like that kind of blush, but I do have similar shades. And so, again, this has not even been swatched. Like, I have not even put my fingers in it. And so I am going to put this to the side, go put it in my giveaway bin, because I think it's beautiful and somebody else would probably really love it. And so there's no sense in me keeping it when it won't really work for me. And then last, I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liquid or cream type blushes. So we will go ahead and do those. First, I have the Merit Beverly Hills. I love this stuff. And these will be easy to do because I can just rub them on. So there is that shade. Absolutely love it. It is so pretty. It stays so nice on my skin, on my oily skin. It stays so nice. So I love that. Then I have this YC Collection blush in Freesia, I think it is. And I got this in an Ipsy bag. So this one comes with like a little doe foot. And we'll go ahead and put that on there. That looks intense, but when you buff it out, it's really, really pretty. Like, let me go ahead and do it so you can kind of get a better idea, because that's pretty intense like that. So there it is, kind of buffed out. Super pretty, more pinky shade. I've also got this NYX Sweet Cheeks, and this is in Baby Doll. This also is a doe foot. So it looks like this. And then this one, as you can see, is a lot darker, like more of a, I don't know, a darker pink. And then when you shear that out, again, beautiful, but definitely different, all different tones. And then I've got the Milk Makeup. This is a lip and cheek, but I don't use it on my lips. And it is in the shade Work, like W-E-R-K. You better work. And then this is this shade, which has more of like a terracotta, I would say, kind of a shade. So completely different from those others. And last but not least, I have a Trestique. This is one of the mini blush sticks, and it is in Moroccan Rose. So it looks like that. And this is the color, which is, again, different from all of those other ones. And I do like these creamy formulas. I've been noticing I really like them, and I think I'm gonna like them extra in the summer. So I just feel like I like, you know, not as many powdery products in the summer. So basically what we can deduce from this little video is I like most of my blushes and don't really want to get rid of them. However, there were a few things there that I did decide to let go of. So both of these products will go into my gently used makeup giveaway that I will be doing at the end of this series. I will do a video on that. If you're not interested in gently used makeup, just don't enter, that's fine. But if you are, then you'll be able to enter, and I'll let you know when that is. And then the other thing was this beautiful Pacifica Duo that I just know is too dark for my skin tone. And so it is brand new and not touched. So it is going in my giveaway bin, because I will be doing another giveaway soon that's brand new makeup. So I do have some things in my giveaway bin that I really should do a giveaway with and go ahead and get out to people, because I don't want them to just sit there and go bad or something, you know. So I will be doing some giveaways very soon, because it's time for a giveaway, and we're getting close to 2,500, and when I get there I will be doing another international gift card giveaway. So help me get to 2,500. We're so close. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think of my blush collection. Do you think I'm keeping way too many? I mean, probably, but again, if you are a makeup lover, you kind of know how this goes, and yeah, I have kind of gathered some really, really beautiful products over the past 4 years that I've been on YouTube. So, yeah, I absolutely love it. They make me happy, okay? And so letting go of the ones that don't, keeping the ones that do, or ones that just don't work for me. And I think I will see you next with bronzers. All right, see you then.